also start with a prayer. During this Holy Week before Easter, when we pray, God hears more than we say, answers more than we ask, gives more than we imagine. In His own time and in His own way. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. First item was my reports. Is it? Oh, sorry.
Minutes.
Sorry, minutes.
That's right.
Okay.
Minutes.
From March 16th, 2021.
You have a motion to approve the minutes for
Make that
March
motion.
16th. Second?
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
The second item is
Jared.
minutes.
Take it away, Jared.
On March 23rd, for maintenance, I amended the motion from March 3rd, 2021 to correct the effective date to read approved hiring Austin Norton to the position of maintenance worker to be effective March 22nd at the rate of $14.54 per hour with a 1-year probationary period. And then also amended the motion from March 3rd to correct the effective date to read approved hiring Russell Cole to the position of custodian 1 to be effective March 22nd at the rate of $12.48 per hour with a 1-year probationary period. Both of those offers were contingent upon successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions. The original date was the week before. They weren't able to start until the following week, so we didn't amend the motions. And then on March 29th, for liquor license, concurred with Auburn Township trustees in not requesting a hearing on the liquor license being requested by Bel Airs Incorporated, doing business as Bel Airs, located at 10986 Washington Street, Chagrin Falls, Ohio. Transit accepted the resignation of Cornelius Scheid, part-time driver, to be effective April 2nd, 2021, and granted permission to increase the current postings for the position of part-time driver from 1 to 2 positions. These positions will remain posted until filled. And for Water Resources, approved and executed service contract agreement with South Shore Controls Incorporated to provide electrical and SCADA maintenance, upgrade, and services for the department for a period of 1 year and an amount not to exceed $10,000.
Thank you. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning. Okay, today's financials include an appropriations transfer and a supplemental from the commissioners in the airport construction fund loans made expense account. Cash transfers include a transfer from the general fund to the law enforcement block grant for the county match on the Ohio Criminal Justice, what is the S? I can't remember.
Ohio Department of Criminal Justice Services.
Yes. Grant number 2017-JG-A02-6468A, the mobile data terminal replacement project, and from the general fund to the county facility bond retirement fund for the June 1st interest payment. Among the encumbrances are travels from the Clerk of Courts to attend the April and May Ohio Clerk of Courts Association meetings in Columbus. Among the vouchers are $103,362 from the Auditor's Office to Manatron for 2021 maintenance and support of the MVP County Real Estate Taxing System. $119,332.25 from the Commissioners to the Portage Geauga Joint Juvenile Detention Center for our second quarter 2021 funding commitment, and $1,189,971.57 from the Commissioner's Office to Donnelly's Independence Incorporated for pay request number 5 of the county office building, and a revenue certification from Mental Health for additional youth center revenue.
Motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Dean.
Dean, Regional External Affairs from First Energy.
Okay, just stand here?
Yes, sure.
No problem. Mr. Durler, Dean Hain, First Energy, External Affairs, your new contact since late last year. COVID hasn't been around, but appreciate the opportunity to stop by and meet everyone.
Yeah.
Look forward to working with you. Dave Connolly, my predecessor, still with companies. Same position, he just moved over to like the west side of town,
Oh.
Cleveland that is. He lives over that way, hopefully spend a little more time with his kids, got some young ones. Myself, have a wife Melissa, works with the company as well. Son Nathan, 16, he goes to St. Vincent, St. Mary down in Akron. So right now we're going through the fun times of teaching how to draw.
Good luck.
All the good stuff that comes with that. I've been with the company approximately 30 years. About half of that's been in the corporate office, downtown Akron, surrounding area, customer service, and some other customer service related. A lot with the our projects for generations. Companies come up with independent generators. Worked for about 5 years on project management with them throughout our whole territory. That was always interesting. It's just you could never see a lot of those people face to face. It was always a phone call. And, personally, myself, I like the face to face. It seems to work a lot better. Get some buy-in for working with people. The other 15 approximate years are out with commercial industrial accounts. Previous to this, that's what I did, and even when I first started with the company with 10 Power many years ago, I worked with commercial industrial customers as well. So working with the counties and the communities is a little bit different, but the business is still the same, just the players are a little bit different. So I look forward to working with everyone. Quick update, we had another, wasn't really bad, but had another Mother Nature event, windstorm, last Friday, overnight, Thursday night into Friday. Throughout CEI territory, we had approximately over 50,000 people out. I think in Geauga County, it was in the few thousand, or 3,000, we got up to 4 at one time. Most of those were back on by Friday evening. Some of the onesie twosies, we call them, the residents like us at home, where it's maybe just a single connection to the house. Those unfortunately get done last, because we try to get the most amount of people on, the most amount we can first, so unfortunately the onesie twosies, we call them, tend to require a little more work, they fall to the end. But most of those they were all done on Saturday, so we're just back up. Unfortunately, the weather hasn't been cold, so it was a lot better than it was last fall. Working with building and grounds folks, Glenn Bernick, on the new office building down there, keeping in contact with him, so we're going to be ready when we need the permanent power down there. If there's any issues, concerns, feel free to give me a call, but we'll make sure we don't hold that up. Let's see, Merritt Road, there's going to be an outage for some buildings down there, not the jail itself, but immediately after that. 5 or 6 buildings, we replace a transformer that is in bad shape. It's a potential hazard. We'll be replacing that on April 16th, working with Glenn as well. Fortunately, a lot of your buildings have generators. I think the only one that may not have one is the dog ward. I can't think of the department name for them right now, but I think they may look to get something in there. They'll be out the whole day. But all that's being coordinated. Don't see any issues. Any additional questions for me?
No, we appreciate you coming out here.
Okay. Like I said, look forward to working with everyone.
So when you replace things in Merritt or Ravenwood, Rockhaven, it's building it up for the future, right? It's like,
As far as on Merritt, where we're taking the outage, there's a transformer there now I think it's rust at the bottom, which is not good. There's not oil leaking out of it. We need to take care of it sooner rather than later, before it becomes a hazard. Required, I think, by the Public Utility Commission, once we're notified of that stuff, to take care of it within 30 days. We'll make sure we do that. Build up, you probably heard about grid modernization. I think a lot of that was done in Geauga County 4 or 5 years ago. I think this area was part of the original pilot, but we are continually always doing stuff. But the outage that I spoke of is just for some normal maintenance.
well, thanks a lot for coming in.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Board of Elections.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
I don't know where you would like me.
Ah, you could have a seat, sir. That's
Okay.
fine.
More comfortable.
Right? And we have Dennis Pavilla, our board member as well.
Okay. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Good.
Good morning, Dennis.
Hey, Jim.
Floor's yours.
We're requesting the Board of County Commissioners to execute the resolution authorizing in participation in sublease with the Ohio Secretary of State for the purpose of acquiring new voting equipment. So that's-
These aren't Dominion machines, are they?
We are using the company ES&S election system and software based in Omaha, Nebraska. Similar to the same company that we use now. It's an upgrade from the version that we currently use. Minor changes to the voters interaction with it. It's still going to be a paper-based system, and they'll be feeding the ballots through the top of the voting equipment.
Extremely minor changes to the voter's experience with it, but, you know, the equipment we currently have, you can no longer even get parts for. We're at the point where you're scavenging parts out of other machines as you can find them available. And this is a good situation where the state's approved this funding for it.
So out of that million, 9,000, we'll get reimbursed how much?
We are only paying 175,000. So you're getting 800 and some thousand from the state. So I
And-
think it's a good investment.
And the life expectancy,
Well, we've had the current voting machine since at least 2006, so you're looking at 10 to 12 years on that. I know there's other counties that have been using this current central scanner for several years already, and they haven't had any major problems, so we're looking at, another 10 to 12 years of life expectancy on these.
I know we've been talking about this for a couple of years, and it's just the right time to pull the trigger. And
Well,
Right,
this-
the
this
funding's
is-
been there since 2019, but it didn't go forward until recently to select the voting equipment. We weren't able to implement new voting equipment during the presidential election, so it's just the time that we need to. And the funding will be gone eventually if we don't act on it.
Okay.
all right, I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
And then the next one is to then execute the sublease purchase agreement.
I'll make the motion on that too.
Second the motion?
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
The green tab,
Okay.
disregard. Just leave the yellow.
Just decide? Okay.
The green tab is the executor, use the resolution to execute until the certification. Are you the one that's gonna sign it? So I don't know if you want.
Want me to
It's
sign
on the
it?
same page as the yellow one, so if you wanna sign it, and then they can sign it.
Okay. Good to have this finished and implement the new equipment. And it's, you know, if you can imagine, if you got a computer left from 2006?
Right. So when I work the polls, is the M100 obsolete now?
Basically,
We'll
yes.
still have to use it for this May election.
Since the Xenia district.
Yep, just put
keep
it back in
ours.
the basket, and then, as soon as meeting's over, I'll get them.
I mean, we're at the point where the parts thing is becoming problematic and such. I'm sorry.
Any other questions for us?
No, we're all set. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, have a good day now.
Okay.
I'll give them to you this afternoon.
Let us know when you get the new equipment.
Thank you.
Will do.
Like the-
Yeah, we're gonna do
Yeah.
some public demonstration with it too.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I mean, as soon as we get it, we'll
Yeah.
have you guys come down and get to work on it.
Yep, take a look at it, see how it all runs.
Okay.
Sounds good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I don't think anything with authorization is here. This is you approved the application for the credit union for them to apply for the credit card. They received that, and this is just the application for
Not to exceed
use.
45.
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Okay.
Department on Aging? Hi.
Hey, good morning.
Where's pancakes, sir? Is that all gone?
I know, I hear you.
I was flipping pancakes for the Historical Society Sunday, so.
Okay. Well, good morning. I'm here to get a lease approved between our department and the Bainbridge Community Church for our Chagrin Falls Senior Center for the social programs. And this lease, we're trying to get all of our lease contracts on a calendar year. This one started in April 1st. So we're doing 9 months for this year and then 12 months next year, and then it'll be on a
So is this a
January.
gross amount of 835, or do you guys have other utilities and stuff you have to pay?
Right, that is the gross,
Okay.
right.
All right, I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's very reasonable.
Yeah, that
It
is.
is, it is such a nice place, it truly is. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
You as
Okay,
well,
Take care
thank
now.
you. All right.
Department of Economic Development.
Morning.
So I'm here to request that the board acknowledge receipt of statements of qualifications for architects and engineering firms to be considered for projects by departments under the Commissioner's hiring authority and remain on file for 1 year to be open for the current season.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second the motion.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Okay.
And then item number 10.
And number 10, we're requesting the board grant permission to advertise the whole public hearing number 1 for the 2021 Community Development Block Grant Small Cities Program, which will be held on Tuesday, April 13th, 2021 at 9:45 a.m. Notice of this public hearing number 1 will be advertised on April 1st, 2021 on the county website.
And are you gonna be getting with us on a little bit prior to that also?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
All right.
Alrighty. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks for coming in.
Glenn's out talking to Dean.
Oh,
What is this in regards to? It's Geauga County's,
This is just the lease with the veterans.
just that we do $1 a year.
Pantry for their.
I'll make that motion on there.
Second the motion?
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Is Joanna here? I haven't seen her.
She was in the,
But,
Joanna here?
Joanna?
Joanna, you're up.
Wait for Glenn.
We already passed
Everybody's
Glenn.
always waiting for
We-
Glenn.
We surpassed Glenn.
All right, we surpassed Glenn. Okay, hi.
How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, we're just looking to update our look, and we're want to go from Cintas over to Rentware. We've investigated several different companies. These ones have a little sharper look that's not dress clothes, because I don't want the drivers in dress clothes, but I want them something out of what we have now is more of a factory look. I was trying to upgrade a little bit.
Yeah, nice.
A little better. It's about the same cost. This company has done business. I called a couple different stores. They seem to have a good reputation, so we want to try Rentware.
Sounds good. I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Thank
Thank you.
you much, guys.
Have a
Have
good
a good
day.
day.
Before you sign this one, we'll just set it aside for right now. It's gonna take a while.
Okay.
We put you at the end, Glenn.
We already did yours. You're done.
This one?
Yeah, that's,
Sign it.
yeah, you already approved that one.
Water resources?
Morning, good morning.
Morning, Steve.
Good morning.
How are you?
Oh, peachy keen. Happy to be here.
Smell if you're lying.
Oh, man.
This is Steve.
So, number 13. Department is requesting board approve and execute the service contract agreement with Buckeye Power Sales to perform generator services and repairs as needed in the wastewater section within the department for a 3-year period, 21, 22, 23, in the amount not to exceed $30,000. 15 and 21, 7.5 and 22, and 7.5 and 23.
Make that motion.
Have we used a company before?
Yes.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
So the next series, since I have so many listed in the agenda, 14, 15, and 16, herewith were sitting change orders made. Did not go through certification of the auditor requested, so 14, 15, and 16 will be the sitting change orders for the Auburn project with Work and Industrial. And then number 17 will approve change orders, those same 3 change orders, so we can certify, get the contract back in line.
I'll make a motion on all those.
I can read one of them, just so,
Go ahead, read
number
them.
17, which will cover all the change orders.
Yep.
So the department is requesting the board approve and execute the addendum to the Auburn Corners wastewater treatment plant expansion and Troy Oak Station upgrade with Workman Industrial Services to increase the contract $249,832.44 to cover additional costs of meeting federal requirements for the American Iron and Steel and Disadvantaged Business Enterprise in the amount of $227,533 and to cover the additional cost of unanticipated structural modifications of the filter building and the removal of 12 cubic yards of structural concrete in the amount of $19,383.31 and to cover additional costs to modify the fence for better site access of $13,416.13 and to deduct the asphalt paving at the Troy Oaks Pump Station site, originally $10,500 in the amount of $2,916.13.
I second the motion.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yeah.
Okay, we have the same situation with number 18 and 19, and we're going to rescind the motion. This is for GPD on the Chardon project, and then reapprove it for this year. And I'll read number 19, it's basically the same. The department is requesting the board approve and execute the addendum to the GPD Group Agreement for Engineering Services for the Chardon Township Berkshire Heights Subdivision Wastewater Treatment Plant Sewers Project, increasing the agreement $3,000 to cover the additional cost of 6 easement surveys on Plain Road in the amount of $3,000.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
And then number 20. Department is requesting the board approve and execute change order 1A, increasing the agreement for engineering services with GBD Group for the Chardon Township Berkshire Heights Subdivision Wastewater Treatment Plant Sewers Project to cover the additional construction administration services and construction inspection in the amount of $103,600. And this amount of money is to cover actually having an engineering inspector on site for the rest of the remainder of the project.
Okay, make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier. Commissioner DeWort.
Aye.
Number 21, I'm not sure if you're aware, we had a snafu with the advertisement, the apartment parcel for sale, that the newspaper skipped 1 week of advertising, so we had to start from scratch. So we're going to ask the board to re-advertise bids for the sale of the real property for 1.5 acres with dwelling located in Parkman Township to be held on Wednesday, April 28th at 2 p.m. Notice of this bid opening will be advertised on April 1st, April 8th, April 15th, April 22nd, and on the county website. And the firm's going to re-advertise for free since they messed up advertising.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes. Now, where is the bidding going to be taking place?
There'll be sealed bids delivered here. Christine.
Just like a normal bid
Okay.
opening.
Yeah.
Good.
The last item, is it 10 o'clock yet?
It's close too. The veterans, if they want to.
Get the veterans in here. And if you've got veterans in here now, welcome.
Which is the director of water resources requested this.
I thought it kind of,
It came from you. It's all right. You remember.
Morning,
It's
Doug.
allowed.
This is the only one here.
There's a couple of them. They're just slowly coming in. Steve, you might want to.
Well, they're aged. Come on in, gentlemen. Okay, well, it looks like our other, I told you you're at 10, so. We're requesting that the board approve and execute resolution 21-037 honoring Chardon Veterans of Foreign Wars Harold I. Holmes, post 6519, on the celebration of the 75-year anniversary. 75 years ago tomorrow, the VFW post on Route 6 was founded by veterans returning from World War II. How are you? Good. Mr. Bob Landes, Ohio Ordnance Works, Doug Lundblad, Veteran Service Commission, and Bill Richardson is the commander. And so, and I'm the quartermaster.
Was sad to hear about Bill Gertz passing. Quite a history there too. Yeah.
Well, this is quite a celebration to, honor the name of your post and everything. It's, I know that you guys are part of the fabric of this area, and was Harold Holmes the founder with the first group then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He and Paul Richards started the post.
Have you always been at that location?
No, it started, they used to meet at the Legion Hall on the square years ago, and then we had a house on the corner where our building is now. It was torn down in 11 or 12, and then we built the new building.
And we're celebrating the 75th anniversary with a free steak dinner tomorrow night. So it's going to sign up.
Well, thanks for everything you guys do with being a part of this community. It's absolutely, honored to have you.
1 minute, we'll pose for a picture. I'd like to present you with this proclamation. Yes.
I'll make
it's a
that motion.
Second.
Mr. Spitaler?
Aye.
Mr. DeBoer?
Okay, let's
Are
present.
you a yes?
Yes.
No.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing great, man.
You're a commander. How about
The
that?
what?
The commander's.
Yeah.
I feel like a criminal with these masks
But your case,
Rob a bank, you know.
like I just run out of 7-Eleven with a laptop.
Right. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Okay, number 23. Full Village topic.
Mr. Gillette?
Come on down.
It's your turn. What made you wait long enough?
How are you?
Very well.
Good,
Very
good.
well, thank you.
How you doing?
Good morning.
Good to see you.
I'm Jim Gillette. I'm here on behalf of the Village of Aquila. I'm the solicitor. And the Village of Aquila has filed a petition to detach itself from Clarendon Township and also to create a new township called Aquila Village. I'm sorry, Aquila Township. The reason for this detachment and creation of a new township is so that the village is able to get additional tax revenue distributions from the 10 mil inside millage. And the way this operates now is that the 10 mils is divided between the county at 2.5, I think the school district at 5, and the remaining, the school district at 4.5, and the remaining 3 goes to Clarendon Township. And so as a result of that, I believe that the only inside millage that the village gets is 0.5 mils, and that's for purposes of their roads. With the creation of Aquila Township, what will happen is Aquila's property will be valued separately from the Clarendon Township property. Right now, they're because the villages in the township, they're conglomerated together and there's one valuation. So with the new township, Aquila Township will receive 3% of the inside millage. Clarendon Township will also continue to receive inside millage. The difference being that Clarendon Township's property assessments are going to be less than they are now, because those in the new Aquila Township are going to be deducted from that for purposes of the new township. The result to the village of Aquila, and this is based on Chuck Walter's estimates, is that the village will in the future receive approximately $13,000 in inside millage, whereas now they're getting about $2,000. So the whole purpose is so that Aquila Village can obtain some additional tax revenue from the 10 mil inside millage that is assessed against the properties.
And then what would the size of that be? What square miles?
It's going to be identical to the village of Aquila as it is now.
Okay.
I don't know what the square mileage is. I think it's less than a mile.
Okay.
And Clarendon Township would be reduced by that same area, but their area is still going to be over 22 square miles.
So it's not gonna change anything to
Yep.
them.
Okay. Would give you guys a little more operating dollars there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And at the end of this, you'd be considered Aquila Township?
No.
Aquila, it'd be Aquila
What?
Village.
What the statute provides is that if the village territorial limits are identical to the township territorial limits, there are no township offices that are created, and that the municipal corporate officers, the council persons, and the fiscal officers will continue to operate. So in essence, what we're doing here is we're creating what's referred to as a paper township. But Aquila Village will continue to operate as it always has been, and the township is there for purposes only of receiving the tax distributions.
Okay.
So when the taxes start rolling in, are they sent everything to Clarendon and then you guys are dispersed that?
No, they will be sent directly to Aquila Village, which is...
Right now, that's not totally happening.
Okay.
Clarendon Township has a discretion to determine how much of that 3 mil inside millage they will share, or it will share with Aquila. And that's varied over the years.
Whereas this would statutorily distribute it?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, if you guys feel comfortable with that on your side?
Yes, we do. You know, we've had public meetings on it. We've been working with Jim and the auditor and my physical officer, and everything seems to work out. You know, it's just, you know, we want just total control over our income tax money coming into the village, which right now we don't. So, and I'm sorry, I'm Richard Wolf. I'm the mayor of the
Yeah,
village. I know.
Yep.
I've met both.
Okay. And then we have a township trustee from Clarendon. Are you okay with this procedure? Or do you have any comments?
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. The Aquila Village, although they have not approached us about this, if they would have, they would know that we are, the entire board is in full support of them. Aquila Village is, they've been operating proudly independently for decades, and they're just good people there in Aquila Village. And one of the issues that they had was 2 years ago, Clarendon Township, our general fund was bleeding pretty heavily. And as we know, the general fund is the parent fund of all our other funds. So we shifted millage from our road and bridge, 1 mil, to our general fund. And that, we always consider that to be temporary until we get out of this, until we get some more revenue for our road and bridge. But what that did was that took 1 mil away from Aquila Village. and that represented, I think, $4,600 or something like that, which is significant for Aquila Village. There is nothing that we would, when I asked, well, can they, no, you have to keep that kind of thing. And so, so that really put a hurting on them, and I think that's probably when they, I mean, I think they always wanted to be independent, but that's probably when they really started getting their wheels rolling, which I can't blame them. But yeah, so it's, Aquila Village, like I said, have been operating independently. They don't vote on our roads. Clarendon, those certified roads inside Aquila Village are not certified Clarendon roads. They vote for our trustees. And some other things, but they have their own levies, and like I said, they've been working independently for a long time, and they're, it's just a great area there. Hate to lose them because they're such good people, but at the same time, it's, you know, we're in full support.
Okay, thank you.
Our fire and EMS, by the way, our contract, if they get their own contract, unless they want to enter an agreement with us or something, but that goes down for our taxpayers. Some of that tax money will go down because Chardon Fire Department will shift that amount to Aquila Village instead of Clarendon Township. So it doesn't really hurt us negatively, like the solicitor said, at all. It's more of a wash than anything.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'll make that motion.
A second the motion?
Okay, there's two.
Two.
The first is to acknowledge receipt of the petition.
Yep.
Yes, we did.
And then the second is to do the resolution approving the petition by the Village of Aquila to detach from Clarendon Township and to erect a new township.
I'll make a motion on both.
Second?
Commissioner Spudler? Commissioner DeWart?
Yes.
Can I ask what happens after this, Aquila? Do you have to go further up the state?
Aquila's going to have to file the paperwork with the county auditor. Then the documents will be recorded with the Geauga County Recorder. The Board of Elections will be notified of the detachment from Clarendon. And we will also notify the Secretary of State of the detachment from Clarendon.
So it's just formalities from here?
Yes.
This was the hump?
Yes, and then from this point forward, I don't know when the effective date is, but then the auditor will start doing the redistribution of taxes.
Okay. Mayor, when you come up with your Independence Day, let me know.
Okay. I appreciate your support.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, because my questions were if you're a township or not, because we have 16 townships.
Right.
And with our county flag, there's a maple leaf in the center and 16 flags, and we'd hate to add another star, you know, around there. But congratulations on your endeavors, and
Yeah, thank you.
You have great neighbors.
Yeah, I hope to keep a good relationship with Clarendon. You know, there's never been any, you know, the bottom line was just to be in total control of our tax money. And that's what this is going to do.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. And
Thank you very much.
I'd also like to thank Christy and Jerry for their assistance in this. This is not something that I've seen before. I don't think they've seen it before. And there were some issues that came up, and they were very helpful in helping the village resolve those issues and get before you today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Seeing you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, the next item on the list is just for the Subco annual meeting on Friday, April 9th, appointing Commissioner Dvorak as the voting representative with me as the alternate.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWart?
Yes. And then,
Before we do that, Glenn wants to come up and actually,
I was out talking to the CEI guy, so I apologize for that.
it's okay.
The Veterans Food Pantry, Pam and Lynn are here from it. They're the ones that run the food pantry down there.
Good morning.
Hi, Lynn.
How are you guys?
Good morning. Good morning.
I'll let them explain what they do and everything.
Sure.
Well, as most of you know, Pam and I run the Geauga County Veteran Food Pantry. It was started almost 12 years ago when my daughter was deployed to Iraq for the first time. It gave me something to do. It was a way for me to in some way feel like a part of her deployment. And the veterans, at that time, there were only 5 that were coming in, and it was a couple of boxes of bread on the ground, and it has grown through the help of the county commissioners, all of you in different ways. We were at Job and Family Services for almost 10 years, and last October we moved, with your help, into the basement part kitchen area of the old county home. And at first we were kind of lost in the space, but our pantry is growing by 1 or 2 veterans a week now, and it is for honorably discharged veterans only. Our referring agency is Veteran Services. We do not look at DD 214s. We don't look at income. We had one incident of stolen valor, so we decided to let them handle that over there. And in addition to the food that we're able to provide to our veterans, we also have a courtyard, and that is probably one of the best things that you as the county commissioners have been able to give to the veterans of Geauga County, because it's a gathering area. Even during COVID, we have been closed to in-person shopping, but we're reopening this Friday. So the guys will be able to come in. They will also be able to go out and use the courtyard. And that's as important to them as the food. And both Pam and I are so grateful to the county commissioners for giving us that space that is so wonderful for our veterans, to Glenn and his maintenance crew, because they keep it nice back there, keep the grass mowed, for Michelle and all the help that they've given us over at VSO and getting us the veterans to come in. So if there's any questions we can answer, we'd be happy to, but we're just so thankful that our program is supported not only by the county commissioners but by Geauga County. I lived in Cuyahoga County for 20 plus years. A program like this would never exist in Cuyahoga County. Geauga County supports its veterans and takes care of it, and it's amazing, absolutely amazing. And thank you very much, all of you.
Yeah, Lynn and I talked a couple of weeks ago about food for the veterans and everything, and this is her quote: "It's even after the holidays in the months, everybody's in the giving mood, but now some of the food pantries are low because of holidays and everything, sunshine, and then people are washing their car and mowing the grass and everything else. But the veterans, program, they still have to eat. So
we do. And that's true with all of the food pantries. But yeah, our veterans, people still are hungry in sunny weather and in non-holiday months. So yeah, but we are seeing. People, it might not be a lot, but we have people every single month that bring a donation, and just for the veterans. So,
Are there certain days that you're open?
we're open on Fridays from 10 until 2 for in-person shopping. Again, starting this week, under strict guidelines. They must wear a mask in the pantry that covers nose and mouth. They have to have sanitizer on their hands, and we have sanitizing stations there, and we're only letting in 2 at a time for shopping. But Pam and my husband Tom and I are there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays, just getting everything ready. We have been able this year to start a new program where we are providing our veterans with some PPEs, masks, sanitizer, and then laundry detergent, things like that, because it starts at home. If you can keep your house clean, you're going to feel better, and so that was a program that we were very happy to be able to start.
Thanks for everything you do. And so just to reiterate, so if somebody wanted to donate, just so that they need to go where?
They can call the Veterans Food Pantry. The number is 440-901-4030. You can send a check to the address, make it out to, it's usually easier just to put GCVFP, which is Geauga County Veteran Food Pantry.
Okay.
We also take donations of food. We don't take clothing, but we do take food, gift cards. Gift cards are always helpful. We have some veterans that have some kind of specific needs that we don't supply the pantry, but we are able to give them then a gift card.
Nice. Nice. And then you guys will be back at the Sports Fest this year again?
We absolutely will be back at the Sports Fest. That's a great opportunity, just to get the word out there.
Yeah.
We are planning on being there.
Awesome.
Yeah, Geauga County is a unique place to be, and when your 501c3 can get donations from all directions,
Right.
from the Rotary, from the Kiwanis, from Ralph's event, and like, put that Jeep Invasion on. And when we said that we're
Yes.
gonna donate to the veterans, I was expecting 75 or 80 Jeeps for last October, and I had 141. And,
That was amazing. We were so happy to be able to be there.
so it's constant, and it's a good feeling to get donations from all directions from Geauga County folks.
When we are serving veterans from the Korean War all the way down Korea, Vietnam, Iraqi freedom, Iraqi Desert Storm, everything. We have single men, we have widows, we have widows with dependent children, we have families with dependent children. So we serve everybody. And there will not be a hungry veteran in Geauga County if we have anything to say about it.
That's right, amen.
No, thanks what you guys are doing, it's great. We took a lot of criticism as far as making the hard decision with the county home, but, one door closes, another one opens, and it was the right choice, and obviously this was a great thing that we got for you guys there.
It is. It really is. And every veteran that comes through there, it's difficult for veterans. They're used to being the ones to help and give. And every volunteer is veteran or veteran related. I'm married to a veteran, I'm the mother of a veteran. She's married to a veteran. And we've all needed help, so we get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the veterans really appreciate that.
No, thank you so much for everything you guys are doing. It's
our
awesome
pleasure.
deal.
Our pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again.
Thanks for
All
helping
right.
too, Glenn.
Thanks.
Being a part of it.
Bye.
Yep,
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we'll have a discussion on the airport authority. Jerry, want to lead this?
Yeah, we've been approached by the airport authority, the PHI, the medical helicopter company that's renting the hangar out there and operates out of that facility, is looking, the airport authority is looking to do some upgrades on that hangar for them. Chip is here, you want to explain the...
Well, right now, we have a hangar that's 30-some years old, has a leaky roof, no insulation. We just fixed the lights so they can see what they're doing. To maintain the helicopter in wintertime, they've asked for heated and insulated building so the mechanics can do their job. We put a budget on the project of about $330,000 for insulation, new roof, taking the skin off the outside, put the insulation on, put the skin back on, new heaters, or way to heat it. We have not. This is basically I want to put on your radar. We're talking about this, that we plan to have a meeting with the commissioners and PHI to discuss the funding of the project, but it's something we want to get done this summer before next winter season. It's April almost, and this, the fall's going to be here, click of a finger. So just want to put on the commissioner's radar. We're bidding out the new T hangar project. Thank you very much for that assistance. I was supposed to bring the MOU today, but I failed. Rick's on vacation, so I'm trying to do my best to fill in. But we'll get that to Christine here next day or two. We've got the Benelak properties now in county possession. Ford property and the Pierre Hodgins property is in the process of being purchased through FAA funding, so we can get basically take out some more of the things off of the checklist we've been talking about for the last 20 years. We've got a construction project to lower some earthwork on the east end of the runway so we can get our night approaches back. We've got a lot going on, and I think with the commissioner's help and the addition of Rick Blamer, we've got more done in the last 2 or 3 years, and I think I've been on the board for almost 20 than in the first 16 or 18. So, again, thank you very much for your help. But the PHI is the next thing on the list. A bunch of volunteers. We can only do so much so fast. But we would like to have that discussion with the commissioners sooner than later, because right now structural steel and steel material is 3 months, 4 months out if you have to order it.
And the price is rising.
Yes, correct, that's correct. So, and, you know, we're gonna build the 10-unit T-hanger. We budgeted $750,000 for that project. About 10 or 12 years ago, we had a 10-unit and an 8-unit that we took bids on, and the number was $700,000. So, you know, because we didn't act that 10 or 12 years ago, jointly between the airport authority and the commissioners, our project is almost doubled in cost, just the way the world works. But again, we thank the Kern County Commissioners for all their assistance.
Take a deeper dive on the Venelac property.
Yes.
Tell everybody that this property was donated.
Correct.
Again, Jog County is very giving, and if they see something that they can help out, and the property was next to it.
Back when I was in high school, I actually was an employee at the airport, and the Venelacs rented one of the main hangars. Associated Enterprises was their company where they restored old aircraft. So they were a key component of the airport back in the late 70s. Things changed, you know, the crash that happened at the airport where things kind of went off the end, where the five pilots were killed. But the Venelacs have owned property ever since that point, and we've been in discussion with them for the last 2 years about purchasing the property because that's key to our growth for future hangar space. And the Venelacs were very gracious to donate the property to us, to the commissioners. So that allows us to have, you know, room for more hangars, future growth, you know, in our master plan, which we are going to upgrade now, including that property with what we want to do. But again, that's been on the airport authority, I don't know, 15, 20 years. And again, we've achieved more in the last few years than the first 15. And I think that the key part of that is the county commissioners are a very willing partner in this whole growth.
Thanks.
And I appreciate, Ralph, very much, thank you for bringing up the power lines issue.
Yes.
That's a discussion, because we basically whittled away at all of the obstacles that of our approaches at both ends. And the lines on the west end are, I believe, our next key obstacle to make our airport safer.
Yeah, I know, it's a shame that we can't get them to, you know, take care of their lines there.
Yeah, it's something that, you know, because we have, there was the woodcraft silo we took care of a year or two ago. There's some tree clearing, there's the earthwork at the west, or the east end. You know, we've whittled away at all the obstructions. The power lines now are the next key obstruction, our limiting structure. So the FAA will, I believe, if we get them back to say, now this is the point of concern, I think that'll bring the focus on the power lines.
Yeah. I stopped in to pick up some avgas about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was talking to Rick there, and he said that the new system that you guys put in place is working tremendous.
Right. Yeah, we have put in the automated fuel system, which was trying to take 30, 40-year-old equipment to make it work in the 2021 technology. Took a little bit of effort, and Rick, he was the glue that brought that together.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he does a great job there. Super conscientious.
Yes, yeah, and I'm doing my best to fill in for him today.
I know the one thing that had come up on that hangar system was the possibility with having the living quarters. Maybe there was a thought a while back about doing something on the inside. Maybe is that still a thought? Or
well, I mean, right now the budget we put up to $330,000 was just for the skin and the heating,
okay,
and the insulation. But that would be part of our discussion with PHI, is because we would like to bring all three parties, the commissioners, PHI, and the airport authority together to have that discussion, because there was upgrading living quarters, there was upgrading like tool rooms, a machine shop, more of a space that they could lock, keep their equipment in. Right now it's one big hangar that there are also other tenants in that hangar at the same time. But they've changed. They just came on board last year. PHI, so we've got a new staff, new administration to deal with, and they know that the discussion's happening. We've talked to them a couple times about this. Again, we can only do so much so fast, and the T hangars was it's going to go out to bid this week, bid at the end of the month. That was the item on our front burner. Now that gets pushed on the side burner. Now the PHI hangar becomes the item on the front burner. So we will set up a meeting as soon as possible with them and include the commissioners in that meeting.
Yeah. And then where they're at, is that part of the village or the township?
It's in the township right now.
It's in the township, okay.
Right. But, an interesting point has been brought up is that the property we are purchasing from Ford and Hodgins are in the village.
Okay.
And other part of the airports are in the village. We would like to get back into discussion with them for utilities, water and sewer. We did have that discussion many years ago. At the time, it didn't go very well. But I would like to open up that discussion again, so we can have better water service. Right now, we have a water well, we have softeners, the one well servicing, all that facility. I think we've pretty much got to its limits. We would like to have a discussion, but we don't want to lose up any of our control of our property.
Because I guess my only concern would be is if we were to do something as far as the utility, I know that with Middlefield Village, they say you have to be annexed in to.
Correct.
To do that. My position would be is if that's the case, then there's an earn on Middlefield, there's an interest for Middlefield Village to do that, because then, everything as far as the taxes would go, income tax and everything else, they would be earning on that. So
Right.
that, if that would be a direction that you'd be looking to go to, I'm not sure if they're going to be getting any of that funding as a village. Is that something that villages are getting some money to, or
From the
feds?
yes.
Because, this may be the best time and place to maybe visit that. And maybe if you wanted to, we could sit down with the mayor there and talk to them. But if they are getting money, to have them have skin in the game, because they're ultimately to be able to earn out of that,
Right.
And might maybe have something where they, if it's true, what you want to do there with moving forward on that.
And that sewer and water issue that's the village's choice. That's not a legal requirement. Because we could have a contract like we have with some of the other municipalities where they provide the sewer and water service outside of their municipal boundary. That idea of the annex is there's no ORC requirement that they have to do that. That's their choice.
Right, that's their policy.
They do
right.
have a choice to not follow that policy also, and the unique thing with that would be they could say, we're only doing this because it's county-owned property, so they don't have to deal with any future.
And we discussed it before, it was the zoning issue, because, once you get annexed in, now you're in village zoning. They do not have airport zoning. So it would be, we'd have to create a new district. And at the time, it was a lot of red tape that I'm not sure everybody wanted to jump in at the time.
I see.
Yeah.
And then what would be the process like as far as if you took the Ford property and all that to be able to encompass that into the township?
Well, it would stay where it's at now. The airport has, I think, right now, 4 or 5 parcels. Some are in the village and some are outside the village. So we've already got a kind of a hodgepodge of property. The immediate goal would be to keep the parcels the same. In fact, I'm going to village planning meeting on the 5th to discuss the Ford property. Because all it is a 60-foot strip along the north side of the runway, which is not a buildable lot, so we have to overcome that issue. But I think we want them to stay, we want the parcels to stay as is, as we look at the master plan update, things like that. But again, right now, once we get the T hangars bid out, the PHI helicopter hangar would be the next item that I would like to come to the commissioners and ask for assistance with the funding. We just don't have the actual game plan figured out yet.
And with PHI, do they provide helicopter service for UH and Metro, or just UH?
Right now, it's UH, but I believe there is, I'm not quite sure what the term is, but if there are accidents out there and there is only one helicopter available, they will be the ones that will make the call. I don't know exactly how that agreement works.
Okay. Because we're going to potentially have a contract with the third party, PHI, and then they have a contract with UH to provide services. And so I'm just asking about how it works.
The way I understand it is University Hospitals has a contract with PHI to provide the air ambulance service. And when we were dealing with the previous provider of that service, I believe they would only enter into a 3 or 5 year lease with us. That was the kind of the roadblock of us doing improvements because we needed to finance it over a longer period.
Okay.
But that is, do they contract or provide service outside of the UH network? I believe they do, but I don't know for certain how that works.
I'm almost thinking they do because it's all PHI now is under Metro, I believe also.
I know that there was, things changed, and PHI provides a bigger service than just the one hospital system. But, it's also has to do almost like a mutual aid
Yeah,
type situation.
exactly.
Where if there is an accident and the other helicopters are out doing other business somewhere else, that whoever is closest gets called for the benefit of the people that are, that are in trouble.
And that's why I think, like, you and I have had this discussion. I think it's regardless, I think it's a huge investment for us to have in that and maintaining them there to keep them. I mean, it's a huge advantage for Geauga to have that availability. God forbid, we need it. And
Yes.
It's, and the other thing too is I think that the changes and the updates that you need to make only increases, the value and maintains, property that we own.
Oh, yeah, the county, the commissioners, we as a Geauga County residents own that structure.
Yeah.
And the building, you can see through the roof when
Oh, yeah.
at night, and so the roof needs to be repaired anyway.
Yeah.
Insulating a building, having the heat in the building adds to the value. I don't, no matter PHI or not, I think it's a great investment for us.
Because even if it wasn't PHI, you're going to attract somebody else to be there, no doubt.
Well, it's obvious that they've done their homework, and they have key locations where they want to stage their aircraft.
Yeah.
And we are at that location, and we want to do everything we can because of the benefit to Geauga County.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Rick is doing a great job there.
Yeah, he was reluctant to go on vacation. I'm not quite sure he had faith in me covered for him.
I'm going to text him and say, where were you? What's the meeting?
Yeah, Chip really screwed it up.
Do the best I can, boss.
I guess to move that process forward, and obviously, it's not easy to have a meeting between the airport board, PHI, and all three commissioners, because then it's a public meeting, and is there, one of the three of you that you would want to have as the key point on that, or do you want me to be the key point for those meetings?
I'd be interested to do it, and unless, I have no problem doing it, and I think that if you and I both, that way it's like, to be able to even attend their meeting, when you wanted to discuss this or put it together, I'm totally in for it, because I think, our summers here are short, and by the time we get everything done, we're gonna be back into that same thing, so sooner is better.
Right, yeah, we need to make a decision probably within the next 2 months and have this thing bid out.
Yeah.
Because then we're gonna be up into September, October, November, working on, and we're looking at sandblasting the structural steel. So all the aircraft have to be out of the hangar for approximately 2 weeks, which we're gonna have to do some shuffling around to get the helicopter inside in case of a storm, because they have to have cover.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a logistic issue for us, and some of the tenants are gonna have to be pushed outside, which is something we're gonna have to take care of. But I would like to have, again, we're looking at the T hangars bidding out. I would like to have a meeting mid-April at the latest with them to discuss this.
Your bids are due on the 22nd.
April? Okay. The advertisement went out?
It's on your website that the
Okay.
bids are being received as of the 22nd.
Okay.
So,
Good.
it was posted.
Yeah, I'm okay with Ralph and Jerry, and if Ralph can't make it, then I'll be an
Yeah,
alternate.
that's fine.
No big deal.
And then what will we be looking at as far as, will those bids then be opened over here? Or is that, how do they do the bids there?
They never submitted anything to us regarding the T-hangers.
So you guys will probably just do it yourself then at your meeting?
Yes.
My understanding is what Rick posted is that the bids are being received at the engineer's office in Toledo.
Okay.
So, I don't know if your engineer is handling the bid for you or not.
Well, the bids will be submitted, but we'll open them at our meeting.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell you, it looks like you guys are doing a great job, and keep it up, yeah. It's going well.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your help. And I guess, the $330,000, if just to move forward, if, I would assume, or I would think we would kind of do the same agreement, MOU, as we did for the T-hangers for that, depending on how the, rating works out with PHI.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a combination of upfront cash, maybe a rent increase. We don't know how that's gonna shake out yet.
Yeah, there'll need to be some kind of three-way agreement
Yeah.
put together.
Yeah.
Yep. And one thing with, from the commissioner's side, that 330,000, just like the T-hangers, we had to go back and change, when they agreed to do that portion, we had to go back and change the POS for our bond issue. We're still, those bonds are due in bids, what was it, April 9th or April 8th? When they're coming in and that, so it's kind of, if we
Until the 29th.
push that back to the middle of April, and that's the starting point, then we're in a better situation.
Financial.
To be able,
Yes.
yeah. Otherwise, if they were to agree to do that before that, we'd have to go back and redo the POS and start that whole process all over again. for the
I mean,
bond.
I don't want to even come close to understanding how county finances work. If there's anything we can do on our end to make it go smoother on your end, just give us a heads up. Let's get Rick in that conversation. Because we're the ones that are asking for the help.
Yeah.
Anything we can do to make it easier, let us know.
So you would say then, Adrian, if after the 15th of April would be the best time to submit it? What's the window that you would say that would be the
I would
best?
say we should probably wait until after the closing,
Yeah.
which is on
The
April
29th.
29th.
April 29th.
Announce anything,
Yeah,
at
that's when the
least.
bond closes.
But if we're having that meeting,
You're having a meeting
getting
in
everything in
April,
place,
you're gonna, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a process, obviously.
to have the meeting and then getting everything in place, we'll be able to.
Are we talking about the helicopter hangar or the T-hangers for that?
That's the helicopter.
Okay, all right, so that,
We're
Your
good with the
MOU
T-hangers.
is,
fine.
your MOU that we were talking
Yeah.
about is the T hangers.
yes,
We're talking about a new
All
agreement
right,
for
all
the
Yeah,
project.
the T-hangers are already disclosed in the POS.
okay,
Correct.
all right.
Yeah, it had to be part of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Anything else,
think
Jim?
it's, I think it's good.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Chip.
So, quick question for you, Chip.
Mhm.
So your understanding would be that the 330,000 would be a loan similar to what we're doing for the T-hangers? In your thoughts right now?
Well, I mean, I because it's a county structure, I would like to ask the county commissioners to consider funding a portion of it.
Okay.
How that agreement works out.
So
I
what
don't know.
the percentage split or whatever we would need to decide.
We'll have to
Yes.
figure all that out.
Yeah.
You're not
That'll
gonna
be
be
part of
here
that
next week,
discussion.
and he's not gonna be here next week,
Right.
then we have to cancel that for you adjourn.
Okay. Okay, looking for the next 3 or 4 weeks. Next Tuesday, I have something coming up, an appointment. So,
And you're not gonna be here, so you will have
So
to.
make a motion to cancel that one?
second,
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer?
yes. And I have a NOACA meeting, External Affairs, Zoom meeting on the 9th, for revisions. I'll be there on the 12th, the 13th regular meeting. Planning meeting, 7:30 in the morning. Township Association meeting in Munson on the 14th, Family First. Yes. And then just back to routine with the commissioners on the 20th. Solid Waste, meeting on the 20th at
Thank you.
noon.
Okay. Happy Easter, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any public comment? Okay, adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.